Hey guys, Chris from Provo Beast Audio Installation, and in today's video we're going to be installing a 5-channel amplifier and subwoofer to this Mazda 6. In this video we're going to get everything mounted. We'll show you how to run all the wiring and integrate it to an existing aftermarket radio. Let's get started. Alright, so here at the bench, some of the parts that we're going to be using for our install today, first and foremost, is the amplifier we're going with. Now it's this ultra compact thin design by Scar Audio. It's the SK-M905D. It's a Class D 5-channel amplifier, puts out 900 watts RMS, and will support both our door speakers as well as our 10-inch sub. Now this is the SDR series 10-inch sub. We have this mounted up in a Scar Audio box as well. It's a great combination. This puts out about 450 watts RMS to 500 watts RMS at the sub channel, and this subwoofer can handle up to 600 watts RMS as well. This is the dual voice coil 2 ohm version, so it's compatible with our amp. Now to support this amp and sub, we need a good wiring kit. We've picked up this 8-gauge OFC wiring kit by Scar Audio as well. It does come with 2 channels of RCAs, but we also picked up an additional 4-channel set because we are running a full 5-channel configuration. So what we're going to do is check out the vehicle, exactly where we're going to mount our amplifier. It does already have a system in it, and what we're going to do is kind of strip things out, clean things up, and prepare the Mazda for our new install. Now, as a quick here side note, if you want to see this sub and box or the amplifier a little bit more in depth and detail, we did separate unboxings of those, and we even put some power to this sub. So if you want to check that on out, we'll have a link in the description for both videos, as well as we'll card one up above. Now there is an amp underneath the driver's front seat that's not really mounted super well. Looks like the previous installer put in this 8-gauge Bose wiring kit. It's aluminum copper clad kit, and we all know that this wiring kit's not 8-gauge, is probably a 12-gauge at best. Pull this on out. We'll actually create a better fuse holder here. We'll get this wiring pulled out of the vehicle. All right, we're here in the vehicle. Rolled this front seat forward, and here's the amplifier here. I mean, they use zip ties. It's nice and clean. Not gonna get on them for that, but they did put drywall screws through the floor of the car. So what we're gonna do is pull this on out. We'll probably still try to go for mounting this amplifier underneath the seat, but we're gonna build a mount out of some ABS plastic. We'll use some 9-wire conductor cable, some OFC wire, and pull all this cheap crap out because we want to support our system as much as possible. So let's remove the negative off the battery and start stripping all this out. Alright, so we spent some time, we started gutting all the old wiring and the other amplifier that was poorly mounted underneath the seat. So what we're going to do is we built this ABS plastic board. We've got our new amplifier mounted to it. This is our 5-channel amplifier. This is facing the front of the seat, so the front of the seat, back of the seat. This will snag the rear seatbelt bolt right there. And then we'll do a small mount up here in the top corner, keeping this securely in place. Our RCA inputs and adjustments will be on the right side of the amplifier, and all our terminals will be on the left. We put some holes here, so we're going to connect some 9-wire. The way that we're going to connect our amplifier is we have to run a power wire to the battery of the vehicle. We'll have a ground there's a factory grounding location right along this beam in front of the seat, which is perfect. So we're going to go there nice and short, and then remote turn-on wire. That wire is going to connect into the remote turn-on wire of the radio. Now these are speaker outputs. Obviously the blues and greens are to our sub, so we'll extend those and run those all the way to the trunk. And then our speaker wires are whites, grays, greens, and purples. We picked up some 9-conductor speaker wire. So this speaker wire is great because it has all those same exact colors double shielded inside this loom. We're going to solder onto these, extend these wires, and essentially we'll run this all the way up to back behind the radio. So this is the speaker output, right? So this amplified signal, we're going to tap into the main wiring harness back behind the radio, because we're not using the amplifier of the radio itself, and instead we're going to put our amplified signal from this guy into that harness of the vehicle. We'll show you what that looks like once we pull the radio here in a minute. So at this point, what we're going to do is strip this back. We're going to start soldering up to extend our speaker wire output. And next we need to start planning our power and ground runs. Alrighty, so we've basically finished up the amp rack besides hooking up power and ground. Essentially here we have our amplifier all mounted, everything zip tied nice and clean. We've got everything soldered up here, use some heat shrink, and then we heat shrink all over all our connections there, and then test tape the rest there. The ninth conductor is our remote turn on wire, so we ran that there. And then for our sub wire, we just put a hole through the bottom here, and then this guy will go to the trunk. On this side of the amplifier, we've got our RCAs hooked in. We got our bass knob also included within this bundle here. We got this all tested tape. This will go up underneath the carpet along with the speaker output. This basically all goes up to the dash back behind the radio. So that's it. Pretty much done here. Now, it probably is going to be a lot easier for us to solder up the harness end here at the bench versus in the car. So what we're going to do before we even start running power and ground and put the amp rack in the vehicle is let's go pull the radio to go see the condition of the harness and get this prepared. All right, so we're here in the car. We got to get this aftermarket radio out just so we can make our connections, continue gutting the old wiring, and pull out the wiring harness adapter so we can solder it into our amplifier output. So to get the radio on out, pull up your emergency brake. Now this just unclips. I've already had it out temporarily, but just give it a tug on the corners. It should pop on up. It comes on out. No screws or anything holding in your cup holders. Now next here we have to pull this trim out and pull this trim out. Just like that. Same with the other side. And I'm just using my fingers. Pretty easy. Okay, once that's up and out of the way, we can remove their shift knob. Next, we're going to pop this on up and around the radio. Okay, pop that out of the way, up and around the gear shift. Then this guy comes next. Okay, with that out of the way that we pulled our gear shifter back, you can pop this little cover off and stick a screwdriver in there, or you can just push down on the side. You can see where it pushes down this little button here, and you can move it back without having to put the key in. We need to pop our vents out just temporarily. Just give them a nice tug there. We don't have to pull them out. Oh. Okay, and that just comes on out. There we are. Now you may have screws top and bottom. Our kit's already aftermarket, so we don't have those screws. And everything is super tight. Radio is on out. This harness is a disaster here. All right, we got this all pulled apart. We got to do a little bit of repair here, but overall not too bad. I can work with this. So we're going to take this over to the bench and start getting it buttoned up right. Okay, so we're at the bench. We have our harness adapter. We're just going to start over here. And essentially here, this is our speaker wire output from the amplifier. And we're not going to use the amplified signal out of the radio. Instead, we're going to use our own, obviously, from the amplifier. So we're going to just connect this into our harness adapter, which will feed that signal to all the speakers in the vehicle. So let's clean this up, and I'm going to be right back with you. All right, so we've spent some time. We've gotten this a lot more cleaned up, cut out a ton of crap, soldered and heat shrunk the necessary wiring here. This end goes to the radio, and this end will go to the vehicle. Now these ends are your speaker outputs that go to your speakers in the car. Well, instead of running the power from the radio, we've just capped and taped those off, which we'll bundle here separately. We're going to run our amplified speaker wire into this end. So our 9-wire from our amplifier rack that we've built, we're going to strip and solder right into those. And essentially here, we'll match color for color, and that will take our amplified signal to all the doors, just like that. Okay, so we have soldered our speaker output wire, 9-conductor cable, to our harness. And what we'll do, just like we did before, is move our heat shrink up and over those connections and shrink them down with a heat gun. Alright, we have repaired our harness. This end plugs into the car, this one plugs into the radio. Our conductor cable feeds super nicely. That's all done. And this end plugs into our steering wheel control module. We'll need to reconnect our 2 steering wheel control wires. This is our antenna plug. That's about it. Nice and clean. Got rid of that huge bundle of mess. Now at this point in time, what we need to do is grab our harness and our amp rack and head over to the car to start running our cables. Alrighty, so we slid our amplifier into place and we started feeding our wire. Now there's a nice slit in the carpet right there where we can feed our wire up. Since our radio's out and this is out of the way, our power wire, our 9-conductor cable speaker wire, and our set of RCAs and our bass knob wire we fed out into the center console, which will run to their various locations. So we can get this all zip tied and cleaned up here in a minute. This end, we fed our sub output wire through there, comes up here, and then we're going to feed it that way, and that'll go to the trunk. Got our remote turn wire, obviously that's in the 9-conductor cable. And now our ground, we just did our ground, and we'll show you where that is. So if you pull your carpet up here, there's a factory grounding spot there where we used a wire brush, cleaned up all the paint, and put our ground there. It comes out there, up through our board, into the ground of the amp. So we're getting close. At this point we need to do power. Power goes up here. We're gonna go through the firewall to the battery. And then we gotta make our connections back behind the radio. So for our power wire, we fed it through that hole in the carpet, right along the threshold here, and we've come out at this point. Now we gotta feed it up through the firewall. I'm gonna take you top side to show you the protrusion that the manufacturer has provided to run wiring through the factory grommet without damaging any of the factory wiring. All right, so we are here under the hood. There is the factory grommet right in there. So, previous installer actually cut through the rubber boot, which you shouldn't do that. You don't need to, because right above that there, above that wire hanger is that little nipple that sticks out. All you need to do is cut that off, and that's an easy pass-through to run wiring into the body. Unfortunately, since he's cut the main boot, we have that big exposed spot there. Now, because that hole's already there, we're just going to use it. However, in your install, highly suggest cutting that piece off just above it and running your wire through that hole. That's intended by the manufacturer to run your own wiring through without damaging the boot in any way. Now, what we've done is this white hanger here, we're going to pull our wire through. We're going to lube it up with some soap and water and pull it through, being extremely careful of the factory wiring. And we're going to pull our wiring through. Now, unfortunately, like I said, previous installer hacked this thing up, but we're going to do our best to salvage it. All right, so we loomed our wire, got it zip tied, put the wire around. Now I made a little platform for a fuse holder and used the battery mount just to secure it in place. Then we went up right to the battery here, and that's all done and good to go. We got our fuse as close to the positive post as possible. Other than that, we have our battery side all done. We obviously had the negative off the battery as we made our connections. The amplifier is all connected, the ground is done, and everything is completed at this point. So we put the negative back on the battery and got everything tightened down. So under the hood is complete. Let's finish up inside. At this point, we need to start getting the radio reinstalled. All right, so we fed our wires up into the dash. We got our 4 channels and our sub channels, RCAs. Got everything cleaned up, fixed this as much as we could. fixed a lot of the hackery here. Unfortunately, they cut some wires, so we just did wire and wire. We don't want to increase any resistance here, so we use some crimp caps. Essentially, we are done. Got this all done and cleaned up. At this point, let's get the radio back in the dash so we can start testing. Okay. Alright, so with the interior all back together, what we just did is set our gains for amplifier with the DD1 SMD. So they're set perfectly, set our crossover points, and got it all booted up. Now, of course, we always do that without the speakers plugged in. We don't want to damage any speakers, but really, we're about done there. Now we just need to get the seat down and get everything bolted back up. Got our sub all installed. Just clean up our wiring a bit, but that's about it. We left plenty of length in case we need to move it around the trunk. All right, so we got the seat all bolted back down since all the tuning of the amp is completed. Let's go ahead and do a demo. Now, we didn't do door speakers here. Essentially here, we just did the 5-channel amp and sub. So what we're gonna be showing you is just some of the bass that we're gonna be getting. That's about it for the video. If you have any questions on what we did here, post a comment below. Now we're going to link everything that we used here in the description of the video for your convenience. Be sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. We post great content on the channel all the time, and we will see you in the next video.